In the last class, I have explained SCD type 1. Today, I am going to explain SCD type 2. SCD. So, in SCD type 2, we are going to maintain complete history. Whenever there is a change in the source, we are going to insert a record in our target tables. So, this is my source data 100 Ravi 2000. So, what I am going to do in my target is 100 Ravi 2000 flag by insert, that is the latest record, and I will maintain one column, key column, that is known as surrogate key. Surrogate key means an artificial key which is not coming from the source. We are going to generate it using sequence generator transformation. We cannot define employee number as the primary key. Why? Because we are going to maintain history on employee number. So after some days, Ravi salary increased to 4,000. Then what we will do? 100 Ravi 4,000. This becomes Y, and based on surrogate key, we are going to update old record with flag here. After some days, Ravi salary increased to 6,000. Then again,
these are predefined record N and Y.
So some people use N and Y. Some people use record start date and end date. I will explain that one also. It is 6,000. This is Y, and some people use record start date and record end date instead of that. So instead of flag, some people use like this. 100 Ravi 2000. Record start is 12th February 2013. I don't know again Ravi salary when it will change. So I am giving 31st December 4 months. This is record end date. After some days, after 2014 reached, again Ravi salary increased to 4,000. So what it is going to happen? 100 Ravi 4,000. Maybe 15th March onwards his salary is changed. 2014. So again when it will change we don't know. 31st December 4 months. So we are going to update old record with -1. So 15th March is changed. So 14th March 2000. So Rishka, I am giving organizer role to you.
Okay, Venkat.
So just started explaining SCD type 2. So whenever there is a change in the source, what we are going to do in our data warehouse tables. So here 31st December 4 nights. After some days, again Ravi salary changed to 6,000. Then what happens? 100 Ravi 6,000. So maybe he got again salary update on 15th April 2015. So again when his salary change I don't know. 31st December 4 lines. So old record, instead of updating with flag n, we are going to update this date -1, 15th April 2000. So after some days Ravi salary again increased to 8,000. So what is the latest salary of Ravi? 6,000. How I can tell? Based on record end date. So where record end date is equal to 31st December 4 lines, that is the latest record. So after some days Ravi salary change. Then again we will insert a record. Whenever there is a change, we need to insert a record. 100 Ravi 8,000. Maybe he again change in March 15th March 2016. His salary changed. Again when it will change I don't know. 31st December 4 months. So previous record you are going to update this record -1. So till 14th March his salary is 6,000. So here we are using flag. Here we are using record start date and record end date. In order to get the latest record, you need to use record end date is 31st December 4 lines. So here you need to use record end date as, sorry, not record end date, flag. This one. Any questions? Okay. So here we need to remember when we need to insert and when we need to update. There are two cases for insert. One is if it is a new record, we are going to insert it. Second case, is if it is a old record with changes exist. So when we need to update, only one case. If it is a old record with changes exist. Any questions so far? So these are very important. If you understand when we need to update, then only you can do the mapping. Clear or any questions? Okay.
But what is the difference between type 1 and type 2? Like, I find like both are similar.
No,
When close, very close.
type 1 is we are updating salary, right? Type 1 maintains only current information. In the target, you can see only one record for type 1.
Okay. These are okay, multiple records. Okay.
You are seeing entire history, right? You cannot
Yeah,
tell using data warehouse table what is the previous salary, what is the previous salaries in type 1.
yeah.
You can see only current salary.
Okay.
So here in SCD type 2, we are going to maintain complete history. Any questions? So first of all, I am connected to Oracle. I am connecting to source. Let's start from select start from employee. So this is my source. Now I am connecting to target. So here I am creating a table db underscore dim underscore em, employee number, name, where salary number, and I am defining two additional columns. One is EID. This one I am defining as primary key. Why? Because I cannot define the employee number as primary key. Why? Because we are going to maintain history. Primary key means unique and not null. And flag. In order to know latest record and old records, we will differentiate. So if you observe my source and target structures, I have two additional columns. One is EID, another one is flag. EID we call it as surrogate key here. Surrogate key means an artificial key which is not coming from the source. We are going to generate it using sequence generator transformation. Any questions so far? Start all programs. Informatica client power center design. For any task, we have three steps. First one is creation of mapping. Second one, creation of session. Third one, creation of workflow or use the existing workflow.
Venkat, this EID is generated like with what type of data? What kind of data? Like it's master
It's a
data or transaction?
it's a sequence. So just
What type of data?
sorry.
For any kind of data, it will generate. Huh?
Yeah, for any kind of data, it will generate only sequence. Whenever you are inserting a record, it will generate
Okay.
one ID, continuous
Okay.
sequence. So that one we are using to update only the old record with flag n, that ID. See, if that ID is nothing, then you cannot update old record. So here, double click on repository, enter the user ID and password. Click on connect. Now double click on it. Our first step is creation of mapping. In order to create a mapping, we need to verify whether our source and targets are ready or not. What is my source here? Employee. Already available. I need not import again. Once you import sources and targets, you can use same source and targets in n number of mappings. Select targets. What is my target? TB underscore dim underscore em. My target is not there. I am going to import my target using target designer tool. From the menu bar, select targets, import the details, enter the password. So TB underscore click on. We defined EID as the key column. You can see the key symbol. Repository. Now my source and targets are ready. I can create a mapping using mapping designer tool. Select mapping designer tool. From the menu bar, select mappings, click on enter the name m underscore employee underscore SC. Click on. From the navigation bar, select your source. Similarly, drag the target. I am dragging same target twice, one for insert, one for update. We are going to just update flag with n. Any questions so far? Just I am renaming target instance names for readability purpose in workflow monitor. Click on name underscore INS. Apply. This one, double click, rename. It means update. Right. So here important thing is when we need to insert and when we need to update. So here you see there are two cases for insert. First one is if it is a new record. How do we know? A record which is coming from the source, if already exists in the target, that is a old record. Otherwise it is a new record. Suppose 100 is coming from the source, 100 is not available in the target, then it is a new record. 101 is coming from the source, 101 is not available in the target, then you can say it is a new record. How you are telling? You are going to compare your source data with the target data and then you are telling that is a new record or old record. If that record is already available in the target, then it is a old record. If that record is not available, then it is a new record. So you need to compare your source data with the target data in order to know old or new. So here I am going to use a lookup on my target table so that I can compare my source data with the target table data. So if I take a lookup on my target table, I can compare my source employee number with target employee number. If there is a match, lookup returns value. If there is no match, lookup returns null value. So you can use is null of lookup port. That means there is a new record. This is one case. What about another case? If it is a old record, how do we know? Old record means lookup returns value. That means not is null of lookup port. And you need to compare your source salary with target salary and your source name with target's name. Then only you can tell record changed or not. See here, 8,000 is coming. So when you compare e number with the target e number, it is matching, and you need to check whether rename or salary changed or not. Then only you need to insert. Suppose here also 6,000, you should not do anything. You should not insert. Why? Because salary is not changed. So how do we know record with changes exist or not? If it is a old record, this is the condition, not is null. With changes exist or not, how do you know? You need to compare your source columns with the target columns. Then only you can tell. So how we will get target columns? From lookup. So here what you can do is source ename not equal to lookup ename, or any column change we need to insert source salary not equal to lookup salary. Any questions so far?
Can you repeat this last statement, Venkat? The condition.
Yeah. So you found out that is a old record. That means
Okay.
lookup return value. But how do we know changes exist or not? See, old record means we should not insert, right? If there is any change in your source data, then only you need to insert. So here, in this case, we should not insert 100 Ravi 6,000. Target also 100 Ravi 6,000. Why you want to insert a record? Same. Your source data is matching with target data. You should not insert. Suppose your salary is changed 8,000. Then you need to insert. How do you know? You need to compare your source salary with target salary. Then only you know a record with changes exist in the source. Clear?
But
Hmm.
if you're dealing with large amounts of data,
Mm-hmm.
for all the columns we need to mention like
Yes,
this. So,
exactly. Exactly. You are correct. But for that one, there is an alternative. There is a good question. In Informatica, we have one function, MD5. MD5 is a predefined function. It takes one argument and provides a hexadecimal number. So instead of comparing, you ask to write 1,000 columns I have. Why I need to compare 1,000 comparisons? What I will do is, I will concatenate all source columns at a time. Source name, source salary, assume source city, source D number, etc. 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 Similarly, calculate target MD5 also. SRC here lookup. Your target is lookup D name, lookup salary, LKP city, LKP D number, and then compare only these two things. Source MD5 not equal to target MD5 or not. So here you can see number of comparisons reduced. It returns hexadecimal number. It returns hexadecimal number. We are going to compare. If it returns same hexadecimal numbers, both are same. If it returns different hexadecimal numbers, changes exist.
but either ways we need to write all the columns
Yeah,
names.
there is no other option. Otherwise, how do you know? You have to compare, right? Here, one option is you are going to decrease the number of comparisons. Yes or no?
Okay. Hmm.
So first you are concatenating all the columns, then internally MD5 function returns one hexadecimal number for all the values.
Hmm.
Important thing is the order is important. Whatever the order you are following in the source, same order you need to follow for target also. Suppose you should not do first salary and then ename in the target, then
Hmm.
it is wrong. So the order is important. Whatever, suppose 100 columns, place 100 columns here. Here also place 100 columns in the same order. Only what we are reducing is number of comparisons. If there is no such kind of MD5, we need to compare 1,000 times. Suppose if you have 1,000 columns, if you have 100 columns, you need to compare 100 times. So because of this reason, you are going to compare only one time. So this is MD5 function automatically internally calculates. So efficiently for a performance point of view. Any questions? Okay, if it is a old record with changes exist, how do we know? Old record not is null of lookup port. That means old record and source MD5 not equal to target MD5. Then you are going to send that record out. So these are very important when we need to insert, when we need to update. If you remember those things, you can easily build the fabric. Compared to all, SCD type 2 is little tough. So if you practice 2 to 3 times, it is very easy. Any questions? Okay. So here I am going to take a lookup from the menu bar, select transformation, lookup. So here you need to select lookup. Lookup. Then it will open a dialog box. So where your lookup is available. My lookup is on target side. So select target, already selected. So select your table name. TB underscore dim underscore u. Click on. Now you can compare your source employee number with target employee number in order to know whether that is a new record or old record. Take employee number and give the condition here. Double click on lookup. Go to condition tab. So here icon is there. Add a new condition. The number is equal to the number. Apply. Now I am going to create one expression here. In the expression I am going to calculate MD5. Click on create. So select all source ports and then take required ports from lookup. So what ports I require? E-name and salary. I have to compare my source e-name and source salary with target e-name and target salary. So I need these two columns. And one more column also I need EID in order to update the old record. Based on EID only I can update old record. This is the key column. Any questions so far? Okay. Here one more thing. If you observe, I am taking lookup on my target table data. So then all rows will come. Do I need all the rows for comparison? Not required. I need only flag by records to compare with the source record. I should not compare all the records. I need to compare with the latest record in order to know salary changed or not. So by default, lookup takes all rows. So I'm going to write flag condition where flag equal to y. It will take only latest records. So here what you need to do is double click on lookup. Then it opens edit transformations dialog box. Go to properties tab. So here you can see lookup SQL override. Click on this icon. Here one option is there, generate SQL. So when you click on that, it will generate a SQL. So this is the query going to find it on the database and will fetch the records. So it is showing here from table name. That means all records it will fetch, all history records also. I don't want. So apply where class here. Where flag is equal to y. Take only y records. Any questions? So here I am going to calculate source MD5 and target MD5, and I am going to define flags when we need to insert, when we need to update. So here icon is there. Add a new port to this transformation. So I am going to take it as variable ports e underscore src MD5 t underscore trg underscore md5. So length define 100. Why? Because hexadecimal number returns more than 10 characters. So be careful. You should take 100 length. So these are variable ports. Why? Because I want to use these variable ports in other expressions for comparisons. Source MD5 not equal to target MD5. How I can compare? If I use it as a variable port, I can compare. So MD5 automatically comes in blue color. Predefined functions. Source ename. What is your source ename? Concatenation with source. So similarly, target. No target. This one. Lookup ename. Lookup seller. Any questions so far?
We won't be checking the E number, like concatenating the E number.
Why E number? We already know, right? E number won't change.
But
So
what if the
suppose,
two records have the same
no,
name?
let me tell you. If E number changes, that will treat as a completely new record.
Hmm.
So we need not compare. See how you are telling old record. See 100 is coming, 100 is matched. Then only you are telling old record. Suppose new employee number comes, 101 will match. No, right?
No.
Yeah.
Primary key working.
Sorry.
I was talking about the primary key, right? Key number.
I did not get.
It's a primary key, right?
Yeah. On the source side, it's a primary key. Correct.
Okay. It's the okay.
So I'm going to define insert flag when we need to insert. U underscore ins underscore flag. So this is output port. So two cases for insert. First case is if it is a new record. How do we know? Is null of lookup port. Take any lookup port. I am taking here. This is one condition. This is for new record. If you are getting new record, you need to insert it. Another case or not is null of EAD. That means that is a old record. If it is a old record, you need to check any changes exist between your source columns and target columns. Source MD5 not equal to target. Any questions? So here I am going to write IIF. IIF means Informatica if. This is a predefined function. It takes three arguments. First one is the condition. If this is true, I am setting value y. Otherwise, I am setting value y. And source MD5 not equal to target MD5.
Yeah. We wrote INSUL.
Yeah. Yeah, good catch. Yeah. So this is the condition. So these flags we are going to use in router. If that insert flag is equal to y, we will send the record to insert. Similarly, I am defining update flag. So when we need to update, if it is a old record, that means not is null of lookup port and the changes exist. Source MD5 not equal to target. So here also I am applying IIF. AF is a predefined function. It takes 3 arguments. First one is the condition. If this condition is true, what value you want to set, you can set value y. Otherwise, you can set value. Any questions so far? So here I am going to define two constants. Whenever I am inserting a new row, I am going to insert flag with y. So FLAG. Whenever I am going to update, I am going to update with record n. So to populate those values y and n, I am going to define two constants. So those are two output ports. So these ports I will connect. O underscore ls. This is output port. So whenever I am inserting a record, I will connect this port to flag. So this is predefined constants. Whenever I am going to update, I need n value n. Click on OK. Any questions so far? Click on apply. Now I am going to use router to route the data. From the menu bar, select transformation. Click on create option. Here we need to select router. Click on create. Click on. So select required ports. Employee number, name, salary, and EID. All these things are required. EID is to update the old record. Insert flag, update flag. I am going to write in the group conditions. Remaining things I want to connect Y for flag insert Y. For update, I need to use that column. Now create two groups here. One for insert, one for update. Double click on router. Go to groups. Two groups. Insert one group. Update another group. Remove the existing group. So when we need to insert, if this insert flag is equal to 1. So when we need to update a record, if this update flag is equal to 5. Any questions? We already calculated the conditions. Insert two conditions, update one condition. Click on apply. Click. Now expand the router. Now insert group. Employee number, name, salary. So flag always insert, always Y. So EID. EID is not coming from the source. We are going to generate using sequence generator transformation. So create sequence generator transformation. From the menu bar, select transformation. Click on. You need to open create transformation dialog box. So here you need to select sequence. Whatever the name you want, you can give, but Informatica recommended standards it should start with this. Followed by description. Click on. Automatically two ports comes, next well and arrow. Just connect next well port. By default, it will generate sequence. We already see that 1, 2, 3. It will generate sequence of numbers. Any questions so far?
Why did we convert only insert to flag?
So whenever we insert, we need one key column, right? So
Hmm.
can we take 100? No. Why? Because we are going to maintain history. We defined primary key column. So primary key
Hmm.
means not null and unique. Correct.
Yeah.
We cannot see in SCD1. If you observe, we defined employee number itself as key column. In SCD type 2, it is
Hmm.
not possible. Why? Because we are going to maintain multiple records.
Hmm.
So primary key won't allow. So that's why we are maintaining some sequence. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So based on this primary key only, you can update the old record.
Hmm.
Now I'm going to use update strategy. I cannot directly connect for update. So here I am going to update only flag based on my key column EI. From the menu bar, select transformation record. So here you need to select update strategy. If td underscore click on create. Select only required ports from router. EID is required. And another one flag. PPD flag. Always here. Connect EID to this one. Any questions so far? I missed something in update strategy. Can you guess? Any changes I have to do in update strategy? I have to change, right? By default insert. So I'm updating, right? Flag. So you need to go number one, or you need to go td underscore update. Click on apply. So this is SCD. Very important and true point of view. SCD type 1, SCD type 2 flows, differences. What is SCD? Everything is very important. Once you enter into real-time environment also, you can see 70% of your mappings are SCD type 1 and 30% of your mappings are SCD type 2. SCD type 2 takes more space. Why? Because you are going to maintain history. Same record information multiple times you are going to maintain. So that's why you can see less number of mappings on SCD type 2. So in interviews also they will ask a question. Can you explain the flow of SCD type 2? Then you should be able to explain this flow. Source qualifier, lookup on target, and then expression, and then router. In the router I will create two groups, one for insert, one for update, two cases for insert. It is a new record, is null of lookup port. If it is a old record with changes exist, not is null of lookup port, and source MD5 not equal to target MD5. And then connect from router, insert group to target insert instance, take sequence generated transformation to generate surrogate key, and from router update group to update strategy transformation, from update strategy to update target instance. So you have to explain the flow like that only. So you need to keep it in mind. In telephonic interviews also they will ask, you have to explain this flow. So they will ask SCD type 1 and then again they will ask SCD type 2. Don't confuse that. So you should be very careful. Try to practice as many number of times as possible till you get confidence. Very important. So these are the things only you are going to create in real time mapping. In real time. So you may see sometimes some additional logics. Suppose you are getting department number from the source. You need to get department name. Then you can see one more lookup. Suppose if any derived columns are there, you want to calculate tax and net salary, then in the expression you are going to calculate. So these are basic things. This flow won't change. Maybe you will see more transformations. Lookup, expression, aggregator, whatever the transformation. Based on, suppose you want to eliminate duplicate data, then they will place sorter also in the same mapping. So it depends on different business logics. So the basic flow is same always. Any questions? Okay. So second step is creation of session. Select another client tool, workflow manager tool. The session creation process is same for every mapping. Select task developer tool. From the menu bar, select tasks, click on. Sometimes in interviews they will confuse SCD type 1 and SCD type 2. So in SCD type 1 also you are updating, SCD type 2 also updating. Then they will ask what you will update in type 2, what you will update in type 1. In type 2 you will update only flag. Whereas in type 1 we are going to update source columns also if salary changed or name changed. Underscore m underscore employee underscore SCD2. Click on, select the mapping. Click on, click on. As usual, we need to give relational connections. Double click on the session, go to mapping tab, the source, use source connection. You have two targets, give connections for both the targets. Target 64. So then select lookup. For lookup also you need to give connection. Lookup is available on target side, you need to give target connection. If it is available on source side, you need to give source connection. Select use object. So we need to click on apply. Digital. Any questions so far? So our first two steps are completed. Creation of mapping, creation of session. Third step is creation of workflow or use the existing workflow. Select workflow designer. Expand sessions folder. Select your session and drag it onto workspace. Repository. Now select your session. Right click, start task. Is in running state. Click your current properties. See, first time all rows reach to insert. 4 rows read from source. Those 4 rows reach to insert first. Why? Because your target table is empty. Now you cannot tell your mapping is working 100% fine. You have to check if you update something in source, it is inserting a new record or not. If it is a new record, it also should insert. We will check both the cases. So first select star from eb underscore rim underscore vel. See all records with flag wise 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I am going to do is in my source I am going to insert one new record. Then that record should will insert, and I am going to update 200 ABC salary 2000 to 7000. Then it should insert, and at the same time it should update old record. Then connecting the source. I'm inserting a new record in the source. Insert into table name values 201 or XYZ. Now I'm updating one old record also. Update table name set salary is equal to 4000 where new number is equal to 200. Commit. Select star from employee. So this is my source data, this is my target data. Now can you guess how many records reach to insert and how many records reach to update if I rerun my session? See, this is my source target data, this is my source data. If you observe here, 201 is a new record. It will insert. This is source data, 201 XYZ. It's not there, it will insert. So another one, you have changed salary 200 ABC 4000. Then what happens? It will insert a new record again in the target 200 ABC 4000 flag with Y and it will update old record 2000 salary with N. That means two records goes to insert and one record goes to update. Remaining all employees salaries not changed. See 101 199,000, 101 199,000. It won't do anything. If there is any change, it will insert a new record and update old record. There are no changes, it won't do anything. Clear? I'm going to rerun. Right click, restart task. See, 5 rows read from source, 2 rows reach to insert. One is new row, one is old row with changes exist. At the same time, it is updating old record with flag here. Now check in the database. Select star from tb underscore ump underscore. See here 201 is inserted with the flag Y. Good. So C200 you can write like this for it. You can easily read. Select star from tb underscore dim underscore ump where the number is equal to 200. See here old record updated with the N flag 2000 record. So earlier salary is 2000. Now latest salary is 4000 and your flag is 1. Then you can tell your mapping is working. So suppose again if you change source salary to 6000 if you run, again it will insert one record. It will update old record 4000 with flag here. Any questions so far? These are very important. SCD type 1, type 2, true point of view. Once you enter into real time also, you are going to do all these things only. Okay. So I will take 10 minutes break. So after that I will explain reusable transformations. You can also take 10 minutes break. I will come back again. I'm going on mute. Any questions?
Yeah, Venkat, can you share some sample resumes to this? Like,
Yeah,
what are the
yeah, I will share.
and also you said that you will share questions also, like if it is, I'm not sure whether it's documented or.
No, no, I have one site. I have written a black. It contains 200 interview questions. I will send that link. You can use
And also, if possible, if you have any project technical document, how is the requirement, like development requirement coming up? Just how, just I want to have a
that.
glance on it.
Yeah, just it comes as a Excel sheet. Just I will show you. I will write some source target. I will show you. Just
Okay,
remind me at the end. Okay.
okay, great.
So I will be back in 10 minutes. Hello.
Yeah, Venkat.
Yeah. Hello, Jeevan. I think you are in mute.
Yeah, I'm there, Venkat.
Okay. So I'm going to explain. In Power Center Designer tool, you have seen so far Source Analyzer tool, Target Designer tool, Mapping Designer tool. Apart from that, there are two more tools are there. Those are Transformation Developer and Maplet Designer. Now I am going to explain about Transformation Developer tool. The Transformation Developer tool is used to create reusable transformations. So if you create any transformation under Transformation Developer tool, that is reusable, and you can use the same transformation in n number of mappings like sources and targets. So if you import source and targets, you are going to use in multiple mappings. Similarly, if you create any transformation under Transformation Developer tool, you can see the transformation in the navigation bar also under Transformations folder. So what is the advantage of going for reusable transformations? If there is any reusable business logic exists, the same business logic you are using in 300 mappings in your project. In future, that business logic is changed. Then what you need to do? Again, you need to open 300 mappings. Again, you need to do the changes. If you are able to create reusable transformation, then you need to change at only one place under Transformation Developer tool. That change will automatically reflect in all 300 mappings. You need not touch 300 mappings. You need to change at only one place. So first of all, I will show you the reusable logic in a normal way. After that, I will show you we using reusable transformations. So I have source tables like this: S1, D number, S2, D number. I have two target tables, T1, T2. So T1 contains D number, ETL load date, and ETL user. So T2 table contains D number, ETL load date, ETL user. So if you observe my target tables, there is a commonality exists. See here ETL load date, ETL user. So here also you see ETL load date and ETL user. So if you have suppose 300 targets in your project, you can see for 300 targets same columns. So how you are going to populate ETL load date, ETL user? These are not coming from the source. So using expression transformation, you are going to populate. So ETL load date is you are going to specify as sysdate. ETL load date means when we are inserting, on which date the data inserted into the table sysdate. So this is a predefined variable, you can use as it is sysdate. And ETL user means some constant value with which user you have inserted data. So in our case, example source 24 or source 64. So here I can say ETL underscore sales. This is the username constant. So if you have 300 targets, in each and every mapping you can see 300 expressions. In 300 expressions, you need to see all these things. Two output codes: ETL load date, ETL user. So after some days, the business asked to change. No, this is a global user. You should change for audit purpose ETL global. Then what you need to do? You need to open 300 mappings. You need to open 300 expressions, and you need to change. So even after change, again some days back, business revert back. So again you need to open 300 mappings. Again you need to open 300 expressions. You need to change. It is a difficult task. So if you are able to create reusable expression, you change at only one place. That change will reflect automatically in all the mappings. I will show you how to do that. So first of all, I am connecting to source. I am creating a table. S1. Like that. I am creating another table. S2. I'm going to insert some records into these two tables. Insert into table 9. In real time, you have only read access on source. You don't have privilege to write data. Employee number 24. Insert into table 9. Values. Not 1. Insert into. So insert in SQL. This one values. Not 1. Insert into table 1. Values. Not 2. Insert into this one. Values. Complete table history. Select start from. These are the employee numbers. I am going to insert department numbers in S2 table. Insert into table values. Department number 10. Insert into table values. Department number 20. Insert into table values. Department number 30. Insert into table values. Select start from this one. Select start from this one. So these are my source tables with some data. Now I am connecting to target. So here I am creating two tables. New table T1, employee number, ETL local, with ETL user, what that was, create table to T number, ETL local, with ETL underscore user. So here my sources are S1, S2 and my targets are T1 and T2. I want to load data from S1 to T1 along with other columns, S2 to T2 along with other columns. So if you observe source and target structures, you have two additional columns, ETL load date, ETL user, which are not coming from the source. We are going to generate using expression transformation. Any questions so far? So for any task, we have three steps. First one is creation of mapping. Second one, creation of session. Third one, creation of workflow or use the existing workflow. So first step, in order to create a mapping, we need to verify whether our source and targets are ready or not. So what are my sources? S1, S2, here not there. So what about targets? T1, T2, T1, T2 also not there. So import both sources and targets. In order to import the source, you need to use source analyzer tool. Select source analyzer. From the menu bar, select sources, import from database. Enter the password. Okay. So at a time you can select both the tables. You need not import one by one. Click on repository. Any questions so far? Similarly, we need to import the targets. In order to import the targets, we need to use target designer tool. From the menu bar, select targets, import from database. Click on connect. So T1 repository. Now my source and targets are ready. I can create mappings using mapping designer tool. Select mapping designer tool. From the menu bar, select mappings. Click on M underscore S1 to T1. Click on select your source. Similarly, your target. Now here I am going to create expression transformation to populate these two columns. From the menu bar, select transformation, click on. Here you need to select expression. Click on key number connected. So we are producing these ETL loaded ETL user. Double click on expression. Go to ports tab. Create two output ports, one for date, one for user. So here you can see icon, add a new port instance. By default comes as new field string, data type, change it. Go underscore ETL underscore load underscore data type date. So when you disable the input port, then only expression enables. So ETL load date is sysdate. Go underscore ETL underscore user. So this is a constant. ETL underscore. Any questions so far? Click on apply. Employee number to employee number. Repository. Now I am going to create another mapping. S2 to T2. My source is available, target is available. Mappings. S2. Here also I am going to create expression. From the menu bar, select transformation, click on. Here you need to select expression. Click on create. So remaining two you need to produce. Double click, go to ports tab. Create two new ports. One for ETL loaded. Data type. So disable input ports. ETL loaded is system. Click on apply. Okay. Any questions so far? Now I am going to create sessions for these mappings. Select another client tool, workflow. Select task manager. From the menu bar, select tasks, click on create. Enter the session name. S underscore N underscore S enter. Click on create. Select your mapping. Click on. As usual, we need to give relational connections for sources and targets. Double click, go to mapping tab. Is it ready? Any questions so far? I'm going to create another session. Create. So select the mapping. Click on tab. Double click. Go to mapping tab. The session creation process is same for every mapping. Source, new source connection. So target, new target connection. Repository. Now my source, my mappings are ready, sessions are ready. Third step, running the sessions in a workflow. S1 to T1, S2 to T2. Save it. First I'm running S1 to T1. I click start task. See here, 4 rows right, 4 rows loaded into target. Check in the database. Select start from T1. See, along with the number, you can see ETL loaded, ETL loads. Similarly, run another session. See here, 4 rows train, 4 rows loaded. Select start from. See. Any questions so far? Now, business asked to change ETL sales to ETL global. Then, what you need to do? You need to touch two mappings and you need to open two expressions, right? So here, open the expression, change here, ETL sales to global. Apply. So you need to save it. After that, you need to refresh your session as well. Second mapping, open the second mapping. Here also same thing you need to do. So like that, you have 300 mappings in your project. So what you need to do? You need to open 300 mappings. You need to change 300 expressions, and also you need to refresh your 300 sessions. Refresh mapping. This one also you can refresh. Now save. So already data there. So you can truncate manually here, or you can enable one option, truncate target table option. Go to mapping tab. Select your target. Go to your option. Truncate target. Apply. This one also. Go to mapping tab. Select your target. Now save it. Now you need to run it. See, 4 rows loaded. Check now. So let's start now. See, now it changed it to ETL global. Run another one. Succeeded. Check. See, ETL. It's a very difficult task. If you have to open 300 mappings, 300 expressions, you need to save it. Again, you need to refresh 300 sessions. Now, I am going to show how to handle this using reusable expression. So, how much time we will reduce, you can see. Any question so far? So here I am going to select transformation developer tool. I am going to create expression. So any transformation you can create under transformation developer tool. From the menu bar, select transformation, click on. So here we need to select transformation. Enter the name exp underscore details. Whatever the name you want, you can do. Click on. See now in the seed navigation bar also you can see your expression. When you create under transformations developer tool, automatically comes in the navigation bar. Now you define the logic here. Double click on this, go to ports. So define two ports. One is ETL load date, another one ETL user. ETL load date, what is the data type? Data. Disable the input ports, then only expression enables and you can write the logic. What is ETL load date? System. So what is the ETL user? Initially I am going to define sales. I will show you later. ETL sales. Now when I click on apply, it will get one error. There are no input ports, the transformation is not valid. So expression is a only connected transformation. Only two transformations are unconnected. Lookup and store procedure. So we should have at least one input port. If you see here, all are output ports. It is connected means we should have at least one input port, then I can drag from some other place to expression. Otherwise I cannot connect. So what I will do is I will create one dummy input port. Min underscore dummy. So disable the output port. Now apply. Just for connecting purpose, we have created one dummy port. Otherwise, transformation becomes invalid. Why? Because this is a connected transformation. You cannot just create output ports. Any questions so far? Repository. Now go to mappings. Your mappings. Just one to T1. Remove the existing expression. I'm going to use reusable expression. So select expression. Press delete button on the keyboard. Click on yes. Now drag your reusable expression into the options. For dummy, you can connect any port to dummy. So just only for connection purpose. You can connect T number to E number here with your load date. Repository. In this mapping, I have used reusable expression. You cannot edit or you cannot modify anything in reusable expression. See, in the mapping level, all are in disabled state. See, ports are in disabled state. So if you want to do anything, go to transformation developer tool, change at that place only. You cannot do any modifications. Any questions? Okay. Similarly, we need to do for S2 to T2. Select the expression, delete. Drag your reusable expression. Connect to dummy. So you connect to the number to set. Now you need to refresh your sessions as well. Select task developer tool. Select your session, right click, refresh method. So another session also you need to refresh, right click, refresh. Now save it. Any questions so far? Now I am going to rerun these sessions. You see, S1 to T1, right click, start this. Please succeeded. Select start the ETL sales. Now run another session. See, 4 rows red, 4 rows loaded. Yes. Now business requirement is change to ETL global. I'm not going to touch any mapping. I'm not going to touch any session map. I'm going to change at only one place under transformation developer tool. You see how it will change. I'm not going to refresh session. I'm not going to touch mapping also. So here, open is ETL sales, no ETL global. Just save it. Positive. That's it. Automatically this change will reflect in the mappings. Open the mapping, you can see. Just for showing purpose, you need not open all mappings also. For your reference only I am opening the mapping. See, change it to ETL global in this mapping. Open another mapping. See, mappings automatically changed. So in 300 mappings, if you use this, automatically all 300 mappings automatically will change. You need not do anything. So you need not refresh 300 sessions also. Just run the session, see the data. S1 to T1, right click, start task. See here 4 rows red, those 4 rows loaded to target. Now you can check in the table. Select start code. See, automatically changed. Now run another session. Click stop task. So again 4 rows red here, 4 rows loaded. Now check in the database as well. Select start. See. So you can save a lot of time. So generally when we go for reusable transformation means if there is a reusable logic which can be used across multiple mappings. In future, if any logic changes, you need to change at only one place. You need not change all the mappings. Any questions on reusable transformations? Not only reusable expression, you can go for any transformation, you can make it as reusable. But important thing is that should be reusable across multiple mappings. So here I am going to show one simple concept. Target load plan. Interview point of view, they will ask, what is a target load plan? So the target load plan comes into picture if you have multiple flows within a mapping. This is one mapping. I'm going to create another flow. This is, we call it as one flow. I'm going to create another flow within this mapping. This one. Whatever the mapping you want, you can drag it here. Source and targets.
What is this called? Multiple load mapping plans.
Target load plan.
Oh.
So in the menu bar, you can see mappings, target load plan.
Okay.
So if you have multiple pipelines within a mapping, this is a mapping. S2 to T2 is your mapping name. You can see multiple flows here. This is one flow. This is another flow. Yes or no?
I mean, this comes under as parallel loading?
It's not parallel loading.
Or
I will tell you. So here, which target table should load first? That decides target load plan. It won't run parallel here. It will run one
okay.
by one flow after another flow. So you have the flexibility to set which flow should run first. So check, go to mappings, select target load plan. Then it opens a dialog box. So first it is going to load T2 and then it is going to load T1 target tables. So I want to load first T1 and then T2. Then so you have arrow mark, use that. Move the select group up. Now it will load T1 and then T2. So if you have multiple pipelines within a mapping, you can go for target load plan option. Which target table should load first? Any questions so far? So here some advantages, some drawbacks also there in the target load plan. So you have selected first T1 should load and then T2 should load. You are going to create only one session for this mapping. So what happened? So after 1 hour of the first flow, your session is failed. After 1 hour, first flow completed. So after that second flow started and then your session is failed. Then what happens? If you rerun the session again, first one also will run. First flow also will run. Again you need to wait. Even if you fix some errors in the second flow, you observed, you fixed. Again you need to wait 1 hour till the second flow starts. That is a drawback. So when we go for then this option. So if your first flow also taking less than 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then go for that. Even though your session failed in the second flow, if you rerun the session also, it will take only 5 minutes first flow and then it will start second. Generally, if your target in the first flow is becomes for source in another flow, then only we go for target load plan. And also one more thing, it should not take much time. Any flow. If you are setting dependencies between flows. Clear? Any questions? So the alternative approach is if it is taking first flow 1 hour time, then split into two mappings. This mapping. So create this flow in one mapping, create this flow in another mapping, run sessions one by one. In a workflow, place one session after another session. Any questions? See repository, save, already saved. I'm going to refresh the session. So how it will run? So mappings, target load plan. First it will load T1 and then T2. This is T1, this is T2. Select our session, right click, refresh. So when this error comes, this is an Informatica error. So whenever you get this error, disconnect to folder and connect once again. The object has been modified since the time it was read. Okay. So just disconnect your folder. This is not our error. Again, double click on it. So here, double click, go to mapping tab. So you have added one more flow, right? You need to give connections check. So 64 available. So here also, so 64 available. So check the targets. Target 64 available. Target 64 available. So here you can see in blue color output window. Session. What are the things added? We added source. We added transformation. We added target. So everything it will be shown. Now repository. Now you can run your session. Select workflow designer. So workflow is not there. You can either create a workflow or you can use the existing workflow. Anything is fine. WF underscore. What's your session has to be done. So if you have only one session, you need to link compulsory. At least one session should be linked with start task. First sleep task. Otherwise, your workflow becomes invalid. Repository. Any questions so far? Right click. Start workflow. It's failed. It's failed with tabular view does not exist. So it is taking data from S1. So it is failed. Relational connection is wrong. See, it has taken target 64 for S1. So you need to use source 64 here. So that's why tabular view does not exist. So it is pointing to target 64 user and verifying for S1. It's not there. So that's why it's failed. Tabular view does not exist. So in interviews also they ask a question. You can tell tabular view does not exist. Unique constraint violation. In SCD Type 1 I have explained. So if any duplicates are coming, if you define primary key, then also your session will fail. It's unique constraint violation. So tabular view does not exist. These things. Suppose you are sending date as invalid format, then also it will fail. So anyway, I will explain in functions concept that. So there are many reasons. Tabular view does not exist means your relational connection might be wrong, your table itself not there in that source. So there might be many reasons. So check other things. This is source 64, this is source 64, target 64, target 64. Click on apply. Repository. Select upload designer. Now click start workflow. So first it is loaded S1 to T1 and then S2 to T2. See, we have seen 0. After that S2 to T2 converted to 4 rows. Any questions? So in interview point of view, target load plan is important. So in the next class, I will explain maplet designer too. So in the Maplet Designer tool, you can combine multiple transformations in order to build a particular reusable logic. In transformation developer, you can do only one transformation at a time. You can go for reusable expression, you can go for reusable filter, reusable router, but you cannot mix or combine multiple transformations. In order to combine multiple transformations to build a particular reusable business logic, you need to go for Maplet Designer. I will explain in the next class. So tomorrow also I take the same time, so 2 hours. So today your night time, I am not going to take the class.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all. Rishika, are you there?